Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have another coffee talk. Well, kind of like water bottle talk because it's late in the day. It is, let me look at the clock. It is 4:01 p.m. and I already vlogged. I was up and out of the house by like 9 o'clock this morning. I did vlog it. That video will go up tomorrow. I did like well, you'll see. I did a little Walmart shopping, talked, gossiped a little bit, and all that type of stuff. That will go up tomorrow. But I wanted to come on really quickly. First, I'm using my new microphone. I tried to use this microphone on my beauty channel, and hello, I forgot to turn it on. I was like, why is this not working? Every time I go to press play or put the video in my editing app, it has no volume. This part here, there's a part that goes on the phone, and then here you press, you have to turn it on. And I never turned this part on to connect it. So that's why. So in those videos, I sound like echoey. This is the first time I'm using it. So hopefully when I play it back, it sounds better, the volume. So you guys will have to let me know. There is Nala on the bed. I don't know what you can see. I did also explain, since I filmed, because I haven't put a video out in like 8-9 days, I got a new phone. This is an Android. This is a Samsung S23 Ultra or something like that. This is the issue I'm having. It's a lot clearer, but the background is very dark. And it's because this camera focuses on me. Let me show you. If I move out of the way, like if I bend down, I don't know why it's not doing it now. It's making me look like a liar. Why? I don't know why it's not doing it now. Usually when I get out of the picture, then the back lights up. And then when I come forward, then it focuses back on me. So I don't know. Anyway, that's what it's doing. And like I said on my beauty channel, I'm okay with the background looking dark, as long as you can see me and a lot clearer. And when I do my swatches and stuff, I'm happy. I just had to work on the sound. So hopefully that is taken care of, I hope. And I also used to film with backdrops. I don't do that anymore. Now you get to see my bedroom. And like I said, usually I have Nala, which is my 6-year-old pit. I'll bring her a little bit later towards the end of the video. Or I have the puppy Aura, or we have our senior dog Bella. So usually you'll see a dog or something like that. But this will be what my backgrounds look in the morning when we do our coffee talks. So I wanted to come on real quick and give you an update. If you have not seen my community post, oh my goodness. Today's Friday. Yesterday, Thursday, I had to take my daughter to an emergency eye doctor appointment. Lexi is my 22-year-old daughter. She'll be 23 next month, July 31st. And let me give you a little update about Lexi, just in case you don't know. In 2019, the age of 19, Lexi had to get open heart and lung surgery due to blood clots. They took out 10 centimeters of blood clots. So she's got one of those scars that go down here. I mean, I almost lost her twice in 2019 in October. One from, of course, that, and also then she caught a blood infection. When they go in to do the open heart surgery, they go in through your, when they go take a camera, they go in through your groin, right? And I mean, of course, they cut you here too. But once they take it out, they sew you up, and you heal. Well, the stitches came out, and it's like glue as well, opened up a little bit, which caused an infection. And she had to get like a machine put down on her groin. It was terrible, terrible. So that could have stopped her heart from the blood infection. So that was scary. So when it comes to Lexi, it's like, I worry about all three of my kids, but it's like, when you had that scare already, right? Now, one thing about Lexi is not a complainer. If Lexi tells you she has a headache, it's really like a migraine. If Lexi says she has a migraine, you know it's serious, because somebody like me, I mean, TMI, if I'm on my monthly, okay, I'm like saying I'm bleeding to death. I'm dying. You know what I mean? I'm very dramatic. She is not. So for 2 weeks, Lexi had like migraines, okay? And she was like eating ibuprofen like candy. Well, After the 2.5 weeks, the migraines kind of stopped, but then she was getting headaches. And before I also begin, I want to tell you, Lexi gave me full permission to talk about this. And once she started getting the headaches, she was getting like the blurred vision and then starting to see floaters. Sometimes she would hear her like ears popping. And sometimes it felt like she had like a curtain, like all of a sudden her eyesight would go black for like 10 to 15 seconds. And then she would see again, but it'd be very blurry. Depending on what lighting, when she would go to her job's lighting, they have LED, and that's when it would mess with her. If she was home and at nighttime, not so much. So a couple weeks ago, she went to the ER. I didn't not know she was going, so I didn't go with her. And of course, when they ask her, have you had, like what's going on? They see the cut down her chest. So they automatically, they do like EKG and they do like scans for her, make sure her heart is okay. Because of the headaches and stuff, and everything came out fine. So they said, well, you're probably having migraines. And she kept saying like she felt like all over. And they kept saying, well, migraines, you don't have that. So they just gave her naproxen and they sent her home. I do not know why they didn't do any tests on her brain, but they look at a 22-year-old like, it's probably a migraine. So it wasn't going away. So I finally called her eye doctor, got her right in the next day, which would have been yesterday, 8 in the morning, was an emergency appointment. So we go, and I make sure I go with her. I guess it's like the medical assistant or something, starts asking her questions. And Lexi's saying she's seeing floaters. And the lady's saying how, she starts seeing floaters, when she was like in her 30s or 40s. And a lot of times when you get them and it's every day, like your brain doesn't recognize them anymore because they're used to it. So she doesn't even notice she has them unless she's like really looking, right? But I still thought, when it's just coming on, you have all these symptoms together. It's just, I don't know. I felt as a mother like something was wrong. And, Lexi's again saying about her ears, the popping, and they're looking at her like a little crazy, but, whatever. So they do the eye test. Lexi has 20/20 vision. And Lexi never had a problem with her eyesight. It's like I said, when the headaches, that's when the blurry vision and stuff would come. So they dilated her eyes and all that stuff. Well, then they gave her the eye test. Well, after that, because it takes like 15 minutes, the eye doctor comes in. And she's, again, given her the eye test. And it's like, well, you have 20/20 vision. And Lexi's explaining the same thing, what is going on, what these symptoms are. So the doctor, then they did the air test, for the pressure in your eyes. That was okay. But then they do where they, you put your chin on that thing and it's like a magnifying glass, that big thing, and she's looking in her eyes. And then I noticed she takes something out of the drawer, which what they do for me, since I am diabetic, every year they have a special machine that looks in my eyes to make sure I don't have any broken blood vessels or anything wrong, that I start getting sugar in my eyes, because that causes blindness, right? So it's a special thing that they do. Well, I noticed they got it out and they looked at Lexi, both of her eyes, and I knew. I said, oh, she sees something. And I'm already thinking the worst, right? And I heard her say, And then she like turns around and looks at me. I knew. I said, well, what's going on? She says, well, she sees hemorrhaging, like bleeding behind the eyes, and she sees swelling. There's a lot of swelling behind both eyes. And she says, when we see this, within 24 hours, you need to get an MRI. So she recommended us to go to Philly to get tested. And I was looking at Lexi, and Lexi's like, I just started my new job and I'm on probation. I'm like, Lexi, this is a medical emergency. They cannot fire you. And if they fire you, you'll get another job. This is serious. So anyway, we drive to Philly, and they do another eye test, and they see the same thing. Okay. And so they said, well, they did a pregnancy test on her. Obviously, she's not pregnant. Thank God, But then they did some blood work, and they started asking her questions like, is she on birth control? And Lexi's not on birth control because of the blood clots. She cannot take anything with estrogen in it. They asked her if she was still on blood thinners, and Lexi's not on blood thinners anymore. just certain stuff. So it's like they already had some kind of idea, but they needed to do an MRI to make sure there was nothing else going on in the brain that was causing this eye stuff. I also like to say, because I'm diabetic, I was diagnosed at the age of 18 and her biological father was diagnosed at 14. So right there, when Lexi was having vision problems, I immediately checked her sugar, and her sugar was perfect. It was at 106, perfect. I checked her blood pressure. Her blood pressure was good, because those are the first things that you think is this could be causing headaches, right? Well, the MRI machine that she needed, they only had one. Okay, they had different MRIs, but the one that she needed was like, and there were already 4 people ahead of her, and each test takes 1 hour. So we already had to wait at least 4 or 5 hours for this MRI, but we did. We'd get there about 11:30 in the morning, and she didn't get her test till like 6, 7 o'clock at night, you know? And then it took like an hour to read because of people in front of her. I don't know. It was just a whole situation. They did do the MRI with contrast. They had an IV in her, of course. So, you know, I'm worried about, does my daughter have tumors? Does she have any mass? Does she have something wrong with her brain? Is there a blood clot on her brain? You know, you think all these things, but I'm trying to be, I don't sugarcoat anything with my children, but I don't also have them worry. So on our way up, Lexi's crying like, Mommy, why does everything happen to me? And I don't know how to handle when people cry, you know? And so I start joking. And I'm like, well, things could be worse. This could happen, you know, and I joke, like, because we talk about my son, Tyler, how he's very cranky in the morning. And me and her, we always say we feel sorry for it, you know, when he gets a wife and, you know, just joking. So I said, well, it could be worse. She could be married to Tyler. And she's like, I'd divorce him. But it's joking, you know, because I don't know how to handle it. And then I, of course, tell her, Lexi, you know, you have to have faith. And God always has a plan. And we don't know till you have your MRI. It could just be something very minor, maybe something, you know, and that's what I'm saying to her. But I know that's more easier said than done because that's her. She already went through heart surgery. Like, I mean, who would think a 19-year-old would have to have open heart and lung surgery when their health is perfect? You know what I mean? Because of blood clots, right? So, but I didn't want to sit there and say, oh, Lexi, you're fine. You're going to be fine, because just in case something was wrong, you know? We get the results. They call us in the back and they say, we have a diagnosis. But the one person was starting taking the IV out. So right then I knew, okay, well, it's nothing life-threatening because they're taking the IV out. You know, so they said, we have a diagnosis. And they said, what she has is called IIH, or some people say IH. And what that is, it's fluid in the brain. Well, and it also mimics the symptoms that she was having mimics a brain tumor. And so when she said she was having migraines, like they told her, you weren't having migraines. What you were having was all the pressure, and I'll explain a little bit more, but the pressure and the swelling of the brain was going into the eyes, which was causing the head to hurt. So that's why the naproxen, the ibuprofen, nothing was working because, you know, it wasn't the right medicine, right? And all the symptoms, when you have a lot of fluid in the brain or swelling, you get that popping in your ears. Some people also get like water, like swishing. It's like a curtain. You can go, like, you'll see black, like the blackouts for, 10, 15 seconds, different lighting, what put the headaches on, the blurred vision, all of that. It mimics brain tumor, but it's not a brain tumor. Thank God. So, of course, they sent us home. She has to take 2 pills every day. We go back for a follow-up in 4 weeks, and they'll do another MRI to make sure that's, the fluid, and all that stuff. They said within a couple weeks, she should notice a difference with her vision. And I said, well, how does one get it? Like, what? And he says, well, it's more common in females. And usually women get it from like 30s and 40s. It's very rare to have the IH, but especially somebody in their 20s. And they don't know why. They can't say why 100%, but there are risk factors like birth control, blood thinners, which she's not on, weights. If you're like overweight, like your hormone levels. And my daughter's not like overweight. Like my daughter, you know, she's biracial, and my daughter has a black girl's body. She's got the breast, the butt. She's thick, you know, and she has a few extra pounds on her, but she's not like what you would say obese, right? I mean, we can all stand to lose some weight. So it's not really that, you know, but we don't know what, but we just know that's what the MRI showed, the fluid, the swelling. Like I said, it's the fluid on the brain that was so much pressure because, you know, that was affecting her eyes and putting pressure behind her eyes. Does that make sense? Which was causing the headache. And I don't know if she's going to have this forever. I know a few of you in the comments on the community post said that, you know, you guys have it and the medicine put you in remission. So hopefully that'll happen. Hopefully it'll just go away. But I mean, that was the scariest time. And I wanted to make a dedicated video to say thank you, because the last time I said, like, guys, I need your help. I need prayers. I did a live stream on my beauty channel in 2019 when she was in the middle of having open heart surgery, because that's the first thing that came to my mind. Prayers. There are more people that pray. And so I had just found out we were heading on our way to Philly, and I was like, I need all the prayers I can get, because I'm thinking the worst. Like, she's telling me, like, it could be this, it could be tumor, it could be your brain, it could be, you know, like, you know, she wasn't saying 100%, but, you know, having all these thoughts, like, you know, you need to make sure your daughter gets to get this MRI. Then I'm thinking, well, it's been going on for a month. Is it too late? Like, what is going on? Like, you know, all these thoughts, and, you know, I am separated from my husband. So I was by myself. Usually I have him to lean on. He does the driving. So it was my heart stopped. I don't even know how to explain how I felt, this scared feeling, but I had to be strong for her. And so I did a community post and said, I need your prayers and all this kind of stuff. And the amount of support that I got yesterday, I cannot explain. I can't even fathom the support. And I cannot thank you enough for all of your kind words, all of your prayers, all of your good Judy? No, good juju, you know. I just really appreciate you guys. I also did an update this morning, but I wanted to personally come on and explain a little bit what happened. Maybe you didn't even see the community post. You don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. But the reason why I'm talking about this too is to bring awareness. If you're getting headaches for a while that you don't have headaches, you're getting blurred vision, you're getting this, it could be something so minor, but always get checked. Because had I not taken Lexi, had she not got checked, I mean, it could be a lot worse, right? We caught this early on. So that's why I share so much. I share about my health. I share about my diabetes when I had my heart attack last year. I share about what Lexi with the blood clots. I share a lot on this channel. I shared when I relapsed last summer. I share a lot because I talk about my depression, my bipolar. I talk about a lot of things just to bring awareness and also say, you guys, you're not alone. And also to not play around. If you're going up and down the steps and you're out of breath, right? We might think, oh, we're out of shape. It's our lungs. No, that is key signs of heart. And I didn't know that because I always just thought it was my lungs, right? And so that's why I talk about a lot of things and why I'm sharing what happened to Lexi. Don't say, oh, it's just a headache, or then get used to it because you're used to having headaches when it could be something very serious. Look at Lexi, only 22 years old. So age, you know, it's kind of like when I say a bullet has no name on it, right? It's the same thing. So health, I mean, it doesn't matter. You could be the healthiest person. Listen, I've seen, when I was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 18, I'll put a picture right here of me when I was, had my son was 9 months old. I was 19 years old there. I weighed about 120 pounds, and I was diabetic. We think of diabetes, we think of overweight. We look at somebody thin and we think, oh, they're healthy. We look at an overweight person and think they're unhealthy. When the overweight person could be very healthy, they're just overweight, and the thin person could have a whole lot of stuff wrong with them, right? It's a stereotype. So that's why I say, like, get checked. Don't just let it go, because people look at my daughter like she's so young. When she says, whenever she goes to a doctor and they say any surgeries, and she says, well, I had open heart surgery, or they see the scar, people look like, oh my God, she's a baby. You know, they immediately think she had heart disease or something like that. No, she had blood clots at 19. And we don't know why. They say it could be from the birth control pills, the oral ones, but we don't know why. She's been tested. She doesn't have any rare genetic genes. Like there's nothing like we don't know why. They checked factor 4, factor 5, like blood tests. She doesn't have any of that stuff. So what was the reason? We don't know. Why does she have IH now? We don't know. Why is she having built up fluid in her brain? We don't know. Right? And so that's why I bring this to you guys. And like I said, I did ask her if I could talk about this. And she don't care. She's like, I don't care, mommy. But I still ask her out of respect. Yeah, I'm going to edit this really quickly and get this up for you tonight. The vlog will be up tomorrow. Just a little sneak peek. My husband came over with police escort again for the second time the other day, and he did take the deep freezer. I talk about that. I talk about some other stuff. So, and then also some good stuff, so, and that will be up tomorrow. And I'm repeating myself because I am still in disbelief. I really am. I still cannot believe this poor kid. Like I told her, I was like, well, let's get every bad thing that's going to happen to you. Let's get it done now while you're young. That way that you have the rest of your life, you're going to be fine. But when it's your kid, it doesn't matter how old they are. They're still your children, your babies. And I wish I could take everything away from her, but I told her she's a survivor. You are a warrior, because when I had my heart attack and just had a stent put in, she handled her open heart surgery at 19, so much better, even mentally, than I could ever imagine. And I don't know. It's like, what do you say to your kid, right? And it's just, but anyway, my main thing is I wanted to come on here and really thank you guys. I can't even say into words how much you guys mean to me, and how much just your prayers, or even if you don't pray and just say, throwing good vibes out, that meant so much to me, because evidently it worked. I believe in power of prayer, and I believe, I just believe that, and it worked. Whatever you guys did for me, it worked. And it was God's plan not to have anything I get that, but I just want to thank you guys. I want to come on here personally and thank you. And I keep repeating myself, but so I'm going to get off of here, but I don't know how I got so lucky to have you guys, and that's the truth. And I mean that with everything in my body, my heart and soul. And I don't want to get emotional, but I truly mean that. So thank you. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Please like this video. Like this video because we have a positive outcome. Like this video to give it for prayers for Lexi. I like this video just to like the video. Help a girl out. There's a Nala, come here. Come here, pretty girl. Let me see if I have any treats. Hold the phone. I keep telling you Nala ignores me unless I have some food or something. Come here. Get a Nolly girl. Get a good girl. Isn't she good girl? She's so tired. Look how she's eating. Paul? Good girl. Now, usually I have her pray, but she's laying down. She can't. Wait. Dear God, thank you for this treat. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Usually I have her pray. But, all right, guys. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. Stay healthy. And most importantly, always stay you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Are you tired? Am I bothering you? You're so calm. All right, I'll leave you alone. I love you.